Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2013 Spring Commencement Exercises for the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, celebrating graduates of the Bethel College of Nursing and Health Sciences, the College of Business, the School of Public Affairs, the College of Education, and the College of Engineering and Applied Science. Commencement exercises for graduates of the College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences were held earlier today. Life has many passages, the transition from one period to another. Cultures the world over mark these transitions with ceremonies steeped in tradition, while at the same time looking forward. Commencement, with its ancient regalia and pageantry, marks the successful conclusion of a period of study and the beginning of a new phase in graduates' lives. The origin of commencement can be traced to 12th century Europe, when organized universities were first formed. Commencement is an important ritual for the human spirit, signifying great accomplishment and moving on to a world of possibilities. It connects each of us to the long line of scholars reaching back through the centuries. Today is a momentous day, an everlasting day. We honor these graduates' past achievements and celebrate their bright futures. It is my great pleasure to present them to you, the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, class of 2013. Would everyone please stand or remain standing and join visual and performing arts graduate Jonathan Solzbach, who will lead us in singing of America the Beautiful. The words to this song were composed by Catherine Lee Bates in 1893 during a visit to Pikes Peak and were inspired by the beauty of our state. Lyrics are listed on page 13 of your program.
Skies for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed his grace on thee.
And now, please join the UCCS Visual and Performing Arts Vocal Ensemble, directed by lecturer Solveig Olsen, in the singing of the national anthem. Lyrics are listed on page 13 of your program.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does
Thank you. Please be seated. Now it is my pleasure to present the Chancellor of the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, Dr. Pam Shockley-Zalabak.
I would like to acknowledge that we have assembled here today a microcosm of our world. Graduates with us today represent all of the states in our great nation, as well as many other nations. We also thank those whose support and dedication to the university have helped bring all of our graduates here today. I would like to introduce the members of our Board of Regents, as well as other notable guests on the platform. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Our Board of Regents. On my right, Glenn Gallegos from the 3rd Congressional District. Kyle Hibble, the 5th Congressional District. On my left, Sue Sharkey from the 4th Congressional District. Also on my left, Bruce Benson, University of Colorado President. Jesse Perez, one of this year's Student Achievement Award recipients. And Stu Woods, Vice President of the UCCS Alumni and Friends Association. And our Commencement Marshal, Dr. Brian Burnett, Senior Executive Vice Chancellor for Administration and Finance. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, I would like to introduce our administrators and deans and our name readers. Mary Cousins-Reed, Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Homer Wesley, Vice Chancellor for Student Success and Enrollment Management. Martin Wood, Vice Chancellor for University Advancement. Key Warner, Associate Vice Chancellor for Diversity and Inclusiveness. Susan Spurka, Vice Chancellor for Administration and Finance. Timothy Behrens, Associate Dean of the Bethel College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Venkateshwar Reddy, Dean of the College of Business. Terry Schwartz, Associate Dean of the School of Public Affairs. Mary Snyder, Dean of the College of Education. Rangaswamy Dandapani, Dean of the College of Engineering and Applied Science. Peter Braza, Dean of the College of Letters, Arts and Sciences. Terry Switzer, Dean, Kramer Family Library. Kelly Klebe, Dean of the Graduate School. Megan Fisher, Assistant Vice President for Development, CU Foundation. Our name readers, Chris Beiswinger, Director, Admissions Counseling and Student Recruitment. Anthony Cordova, Director, Multicultural Office for Student Access, Inclusiveness, and Community. Coral Lasky, Assistant Director, Pre-Collegiate Development Programs. Tamara Moore, Director, Auxiliary Services Marketing. Let's give them a round of applause. I would also like to recognize those UCCS retirees who are joining us today by asking them to stand on the floor or in the audience. Sue Nyland and Charlie Shube, thank you for your service to our institution. I would like to ask our student government representatives to stand and be recognized. Thank you. Finally and importantly, I would like to ask the faculty and staff of the University of Colorado Springs to rise on the floor or in the audience, and please remain standing. Commencement is really a time for faculty and staff to reflect on their accomplishments, the education of our students to be outstanding citizens of the community, the nation, and the world, for superb teaching, creative scholarship, and exemplary service, for your energy and dedication to the university community, and for the large and small ways you show that you care for the development and success of our students. We thank you. We thank you for being here and what you have done for the students who are about to receive their degrees. So we thank the entire platform party, and we appreciate everyone's attendance in our commencement. You may be seated. Now, graduates, there is one final assignment before we confer the degrees. So I want you to listen carefully, and then I want you to respond into the category into which you fit. I'm going to ask you by categories to stand, and then you are to remain standing throughout this exercise. So graduates who are the first members of your family to graduate from college, I ask that you stand and remain standing. All right, remain standing. Graduates who worked full-time or part-time while attending UCCS, please stand and remain standing. Graduates who volunteered in this great community, in your home community, or somehow assisted others, including raising children, while attending school, please stand and remain standing. All graduates stand. Everyone stand. All of our graduates stand. Now, it's a pleasure to be here to help celebrate with you today. But I think everyone would agree that few of us really reach these milestones without the support of other people, our family, our friends. For some of you here today, your family or your loved ones are not able to join you, and we want you to know that we are your community supporting you and celebrating with you. So in this final part of this activity, I want you to think about people who have supported you, or if they are here with you, this is your time to look for them in the arena, and let's give your supporters and family a big round of applause. All right, please be seated. Good job. I'm enrolling that young person right now. Now it is my privilege to introduce Bruce Benson, President of the university.
Thank you, Chancellor. I'd like to add my welcome to the graduates, their family and friends, university faculty and staff. On behalf of the University of Colorado, I'd like to congratulate you and all the people who helped you. Your degree from this great university will change your life forever. As you start the next stage of your life, I'd like to share some of my thoughts with you that have helped me throughout my life. Listen to others. Make sure you hear all sides of the issue, and your ideas may not always be the best. You can accomplish a lot more if you don't care who gets the credit. In every decision, watch out for unintended consequences. Stay focused on what is important and finish what you start. And think before you act. If you make a mistake or a bad decision, admit it, apologize, fix it as fast as you can, and just move on. And when you make an agreement, make sure both sides are happy. Don't always try to get the advantage. Seize opportunities as they come along. And if you have a life plan, don't miss opportunities that may not fit exactly in your plan. People want leaders, so if you see a void, fill it. And when you become a leader, be inclusive and open. Try to listen more than you talk. Hire great people who are trustworthy and work as a team. And know what you don't know, but be sure that you have people around you that do know. And treat everyone with respect, and remember that everyone has a place in this world. Always lead by example. Do Do the right thing no matter how tough it is. You will be rewarded. And be generous with your time and, when you can, your money. And be sure to remember your alma mater. You got it. Contribute to your community. Volunteer for projects you care about. You will do good, and it'll make you feel really good. In the end, your honesty, your word, your reputation, and your integrity are all that you have, so don't lose them. And don't forget, the harder you work, the luckier you'll get. So good luck to all of you as you start the next phase of your life, and again, congratulations.
Thank you, President Benson. At this time, Jesse Perez, recipient of the Student Achievement Award, will address his fellow graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Burnett. There are a lot more of you out there than they told me there would be. I feel like a politician. If you vote for me, all of your wildest dreams will come true. Just kidding. But before I begin, I would like to acknowledge and thank my wonderful partner, friends, and family, for whom I would not be here today without their love and support. Thank you. I would also like to thank my mentor, Mr. Anthony Cordova, and Peak Education, who helped me see that a master's degree was in my reach. Thank you so much. Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, Board of Regents, faculty, staff, proud parents, relatives, alumni, community members, student loan sharks waiting to collect after I leave this arena, and above all, graduates. Good afternoon and congratulations to the class of 2013. I am both excited and honored to have been chosen as your speaker and to be standing in front of you today. Truth be told, I never in my wildest dreams would have imagined I would be standing in front of you today. Like so many of you, I came from very humble beginnings, from a then rural area in southern New Mexico where high school education was the standard and college was just something that rich people did. As a first-generation college student, each step I have taken on this journey has been uncharted territory for me, and exam after paper, after exasperating group project, each experience was foreign to me, and the unknown, quite frankly, terrified me. When I began my undergraduate degree, it seemed I was sitting in classes with geniuses who had it all figured out and knew exactly where they were going. As a first-generation college student, I remember very well what a privilege and honor it was for me to be able to attend college. I also remember very well how difficult it was in other ways. For example, I felt different than other students and wondered if I really had the ability to get good grades and graduate. I was an undecided student without any real plan. My idea at the time for a career was somewhere in between a CSI crime scene investigator and one of the prosecutors from Law & Order. Both of which I was devastated to later learn were completely over-dramatized in TV shows for ratings. And just 2 years ago, ending up with a bachelor's degree in communication and geography and environmental studies with a minor in pre-law is just telling of how broad my interests really were. In pursuing a college degree, I was haunted by the voices and social structures that clearly stated that the chances of me succeeding were very slim. My fear of failure was daunting. No matter how well I did in my classes, I found myself questioning my chosen path. I realized that the reason I was experiencing this doubt was because I was not living for me. I was living to prove people wrong. I was living to show my adversaries that I was smart enough to succeed as a college student. I was paying attention to voices expecting less of me instead of the ones expecting more. We all have, and if not, ultimately will encounter a voice of less. It is the voice that wants us to fail, or the voice that keeps us down when we do fail. The voice of less can confuse our goals, intimidate us, and break our spirit. When we fail, we tend to dwell on these failures, and if we let them, those failures can define us and impact our actions, leaving us feeling defeated. There will be people along the way who would tell you what you can't do, what you can't have, and what you can't achieve. Those are the voices of less. But the good news is that those voices are only able to be destructive if we allow them to be. The voice of less can only be destructive to us if we allow it to be. I have found that it is easy to forget how much power we have and what we have control over. You see, we sometimes do not know our own strength until it has been tested by adversity. That knowledge of self is so valuable and can carry you through the tough times. Now, we did not come to this realization alone. Along my journey, I was fortunate to gather a group of mentors who supported and helped me realize my true passion. These great people were my voice of more. It was because of mentors that I stopped pretending to myself that I was anyone other than who I was. It was because of mentors that I began to direct my energy toward reaching my goals. If it wasn't for mentors, I would have not found the determination to succeed in the field I felt I truly belonged. Shout out to Sahi over here. It was because of mentors. It was mentors that were a guide for me getting to college, and it was their support that sustained me, even to this moment. As a young kid in Harrison School District 2, I was terrified about not having it all figured out. It wasn't until my first mentor, Dr. Dalton Connor, sat me down and said, "Jesse, you're really going to have to calm down." He said, "It's okay if you don't have everything figured out now, because whatever you think your dream is now, it will most likely change." He said to use my passion as a guide, and I would reach my goal, even if the route wasn't the way I expected it to be. I found that he was 100% correct. From the time I began my college education, I changed my major 5 times. I'm sure many of you can relate. Your majors changed, your career paths have changed, your friends have changed. Since I began this speech, there are probably a handful of students changing their major at UCCS right now. My path has continued to change with several switchbacks, helping me get to my end goal. But what never changed was my passion. Every major, career path, and dream all had one thing in common. I was attracted to each because I wanted to make a difference and help others. We all have made the decision to earn college degrees because we want to better our lives and make a difference. At this moment, we are filled with passion and are ready to take our next steps towards our respective goals. I encourage you to make a mental note of how you are feeling at this very moment and what motivated you to accomplish this goal. Hold on tight to that feeling and always remember it. Savor each accomplishment you have from here on and remember them. But along your path of many successes, never forget those who helped you realize your passion and those who played a part in your successes. Never forget where you came from, no matter how much you change. So, class of 2013, a college education is something we should think of as a privilege and something we shouldn't take for granted. Use this privilege to better your life as well as create opportunity for others. No matter what your career path is, you have the ability to make a difference. We do not get anywhere on our own. We are advised, mentored, and supported in one way or another. Share your accomplishments with everyone and use the energy you gain from success and give that energy to someone else. I encourage you to not only make your life meaningful to you, but to others as well. And always stay true to your passion and your own personal journey to find success. I encourage you to take every opportunity to make a positive impact on others and be that voice of more for someone. You may end up motivating them to make all of their dreams come true. Thank you and God bless. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. Throughout CU's history, we have recognized many outstanding individuals for their contributions to the University of Colorado, the state, and the nation. We honor members of the broader community who, through their philanthropy and civic-minded activities, have improved the University of Colorado. Continuing in this tradition, the Regents now present the Distinguished Service Award to Tucker Hart Adams. Regent Ludwig will read the citation and Regent Sharkey will present the award.
It is an honor to talk briefly about the recipient of the Distinguished Service Award. To borrow an old advertising line, when Tucker Hart Adams speaks, people listen. She is a respected economist who makes forecasting the future of our state and nation seem as if it's an exact science. She pores over volumes of data, understands it, synthesizes it, and applies it to real people running real businesses. As a result, legions of Colorado business leaders use her forecast to make educated decisions about hiring, capital improvements, and investments. These decisions affect the Colorado economy and the well-being of its citizens. She helps Colorado to lead the nation. But her scope is not limited to Colorado. For many years, she worked with Russian and American companies to find business partners and to provide the cross-cultural training that is so vital in our global environment. She does not, however, share her expertise only with those who are privileged to sit at the board of directors tables. She is taught at 3 CU campuses, Colorado Springs, Denver, and Boulder. In addition to the University of Denver here she shares her knowledge as well as her passion for connecting economic theory to our lives, past, present, and future. Tucker also serves as a valued member of the UCCS Chancellor's Ambassador Advisory Board. For these reasons and many more, the University of Colorado Board of Regents is proud to honor CU alumna Tucker Hart Adams with its Distinguished Service Award.
Ms. Adams has asked to say a few words.
When you get a Distinguished Service Award, you don't have to wear a mortarboard. It's actually because my head's so big today that it wouldn't stay on. President Benson, Chancellor Shockley, and Board of Regents, thank you for this honor. I am honored and don't really quite know what to say. I had never expected anything like this. I do have one thing that I want to say to the students here, both the students that are graduating and all of the younger students who are sitting around in the audience today, and that is that an education at CU Colorado Springs, or even taking one course there, is a very dangerous thing to do. 40 years ago, I was a perfectly happy, content, full-time wife and mother with 4 children living here in Colorado Springs. The only problem was the 4 children were teenage girls, and my brain was turning to oatmeal. And I thought, I've got to do something. I'm a math major as an undergraduate, and I remembered a friend of mine had said, Tuck, you ought to take an economics course. You'd really like it. So I went over to CU Colorado Springs, planning to do nothing but take 1 semester of economics. The federal government had just started running deficits every year. Up until the 60s, they'd only run deficits during wartime. And I didn't understand how that worked. It didn't work really well with my checkbook, so I thought I'd go over and learn how to make it work. Well, UCCS in those days, we called it the SAN because it was the old Colorado Springs Sanatorium. They were trying to get us to call it Craigmore. You had to go to Boulder to get your degree. There were 2 buildings and a dirt parking lot. And the big issue when I was on campus was that, I think the Regents probably proposed this, if they paved the parking lot, would we pay 25 cents to park? And to a student, we said we would not, that we would park out in the neighborhood rather than do that. Well, I took my first economics course, and I was fortunate to have a wonderful professor, an economics professor named Tim Tregarthen. He made it fascinating. Finished the course, and I still didn't understand that deficit financing thing. So I took another semester. And then the next year, I took a third semester. I got my first paper back, and there was a note on it from Tim saying, "Tuck, you shouldn't be over here auditing undergraduate courses in economics. You ought to be in graduate school." And I thought, 4 teenage daughters, and we had a fifth. We had a foster teenage daughter at that point, cooking meals, cleaning toilets. Graduate school, my own apartment, my own car, a bank account, intellectual stimulation. I think I'll go to graduate school. So I said to my husband, I've done the first 15 years with the girls, it's your turn. The only PhD program in economics in Colorado was at CU Boulder, so off I went to CU Boulder, where I had another wonderful professor, Ruben Zubro, for whom I was the teaching assistant. When I finished my coursework, was working on my dissertation. I was offered a job 3 days a week at United Banks of Colorado as a $5 an hour research assistant in the economics department. So I took that, and I discovered I really liked business economics. A couple of years later, the chief economist left to go to a bank in California. I was named chief economist. A year after that, I was promoted to vice president, was the senior woman on the management team at United Banks of Colorado. Also the most naive, inexperienced senior management person that ever has come along. I spent 10 happy years at United Banks. When banks around the country decided to get rid of economics departments, I set up a consulting firm, and for 25 years, that's what I've done very happily. So, what I want to say to you is, it's too late for you that are graduating. You've already taken that course over there. Faculty, I hope you realize the impact that you have on students' life, what one comment on a paper can do. So students, you're headed off to what's going to be an interesting career, fascinating non-work activities, a chance to travel and meet people. I wish you well. Enjoy the ride.
Thank you, Tucker. We are honored today to have alumni with us who graduated 50 and 25 years ago, and they're identified as our golden and silver graduates. Because UCCS was not founded until 1965, our golden graduates are currently only represented by the Bethel College of Nursing and Health Sciences. An over 100-year-old College of Nursing merged into UCCS by a vote of the citizens of Colorado Springs in 1997. I would like to recognize the members of the Bethel class of 1963 who are joining us today, and I'm going to ask them to stand. Janet Barniak, Ann Carey, Sylvia Cox, Judy Davis, Imogene McKenna, Jean Redding, Laura Schwab, Kathleen Trimble, and Judy Whittemore. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us. You may be seated. We also recognize our silver graduates. Will the members of the UCCS class of 1988 please rise? Carol Corneos and Madeline Millard, thank you for being with us today. I take great pleasure in recognizing these distinguished alumni. As the golden and silver graduates exit the arena floor, please join me in knowing the really foundation that they have built for what our university has become. Now, I'm also honored today to recognize our graduating Army ROTC students who will commence service to our country upon commissioning tomorrow morning. We also honor our graduating veterans who have already served our country on active military duty. I also want to thank the parents, family members, and the UCCS faculty and staff for their support and encouragement to these graduates who have pursued a commission while earning a degree. So will the graduating ROTC students and graduating veterans please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. Thank you.
At this time, we will begin to confer the degrees. We will do this in 3 groups. First, doctoral, then master's degrees, and finally, baccalaureate degrees. As the doctoral candidates from each program are named, they will be hooded by their faculty advisors. Will the candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Nursing Practice please come forward? Kelly Klebe, Dean of the Graduate School.
Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Leadership Research and Policy.
Dean Klebe, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Leadership Research and Policy and welcome them into the community of scholars. Congratulations.
Susan Jones, dissertation, A Portrait of Boundary Violations, Former Female Employees of Corrections Who Established a Relationship with an Inmate. Patricia Milner, dissertation, Regulating the New Borderlands, an event history analysis of state cross-border distance higher education policy adoption. Colleen Stiles, dissertation, Venture Philanthropist, an exploration of gifting to education. Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering.
Dean Klebe, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering and welcome them into the community of scholars. Congratulations.
Paladin Lama, emphasis in computer science. Dissertation, autonomic performance and power control in virtualized data centers. Sarisha Mupala, emphasis in computer science. Dissertation, multi-tier internet service management, statistical learning approaches. Sarah Pramanik, emphasis in security. Dissertation, increasing security for DoD systems through new systems and architecture methodologies. Douglas Walters, emphasis in electrical engineering. Dissertation, polarization switching DC to DC converters. Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree Doctor of Nursing Practice.
Dean Klebe, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degree Doctor of Nursing Practice and welcome them into the community of scholars. Congratulations.
Shauna Jones, Capstone Project. Establishing a preeclampsia guide for use in the Certified Nurse Midwife Clinic in Montrose, Colorado. Sharon Stager, Capstone Project, Getting Started, Motivation and Weight Loss.
Congratulations to each of our PhD and DNP graduates. How about one more round of applause for these students? Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, we now confer the graduate degrees of the university. Kelly Klebe, Dean of the Graduate School.
All 6 colleges and schools contribute to the programs of the Graduate School. Candidates will be introduced by their respective deans. Will the candidates for the degrees Master of Science and Master of Sciences in the Bethel College of Nursing and Health Sciences please come forward? Timothy Behrens, Associate Dean of the Bethel College of Nursing and Health Sciences.
Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty in the Bethel College of Nursing and Health Sciences, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degrees Master of Science and Master of Sciences.
Associate Dean Behrens, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degrees Master of Science and Master of Sciences. Congratulations.
Michelle Guzman. Samantha Bland. Lauren Jones. Lisa Rommel.
Tamine Tolentino.
Milena Bjorkland.
Nicholas Horman.
Alicia Hoffman.
Mary Therese Eisner.
Clyde Blaylock.
Brian Mattioli.
Paulina Aji.
Jonathan Eng.
Carrie Clare.
Andrew Gostad.
Nora Allen.
Mash Shaswar.
Patricia Ducklow.
Wendy Scott.
Alex Gradisher.
Michelle Connolly.
Lori Silvis Minch.
Daniel Bertrand.
Lisa Daugard Gordon.
Liesel Waika.
Becky Yoza. Charmin Seberg.
Jennifer Gibson.
Susan Koenig. Tasha Kodum. Abby Pickle. Thank you.
Will the candidates for the degree Master of Business Administration in the College of Business please come forward? Venkat Reddy, Dean of the College of Business.
Chancellor Sharkey Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Business and Administration, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree Master of Business Administration.
Dean Reddy, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degree Master of Business Administration. Congratulations.
Shay Marshall. Sunil Joseph.
Jeffrey Horahan.
Adam Mensch.
Elliot Lalash.
David Sweetman.
Holly Filiatrault.
Tanya Peterson.
Holt Mukadis.
John Gladney, Outstanding Graduate Student, Distinguished Graduate Academic Achievement Award.
Joshua Van Wegenen.
Andrew Lawson.
Derek Long.
Francis Weiren, Distinguished Graduate Academic Achievement Award.
Amanda Richardson Rigby.
Adam Dorenfeld. Robert Sullivan. Tina Shaw.
Morgan Perry.
Min-Jae Chong. James Kennedy.
Huijin Lee. Stuart Shuley. Jessica Keeling. Paul Box.
Will the candidates for the degrees Master of Criminal Justice and Master of Public Administration in the School of Public Affairs please come forward? Terry Schwartz, Associate Dean of the School of Public Affairs.
Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Public Affairs, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree Master of Criminal Justice and Master of Public Administration.
Associate Dean Schwartz, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degree Master of Criminal Justice and Master of Public Administration. Congratulations.
Jacqueline Botcher.
Carl Cum.
Elizabeth De Jesus.
Sarah Vandiver.
Catherine Rupe.
Carla Rupert.
Jennifer Irvin.
Tiffany Walsh.
Tammy Emblem.
David Husted.
Richard Parsons.
Lonnie Roberts.
Lori Buchanan, outstanding graduate student.
Will the candidates for the degrees Master of Arts and Master of Sciences in the College of Education please come forward? Mary Snyder, Dean of the College of Education.
Chancellor Shockley Zalabak. I lost my line. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Education, I had the honor to present these candidates for the degrees Master of Arts and Master of Sciences.
Dean Snyder, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the graduate school and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degrees Master of Arts and Master of Sciences. Congratulations.
Jessica Guerra.
Ashley Meek.
Michelle Paul.
Laurel Swenson.
Kevin Fitch.
Natasha Perrine.
Ashley Lowry.
Nicole Young.
John Little.
Melissa Vines.
Kitri Glenn.
Augustus Edwards.
Aaron Waller.
Catherine Pollock.
Christina DiRigi, outstanding graduate student.
Vicki Martin.
Jenadine Marie Tovis.
Ali Al-Qaeda.
Wada Al-Shamari.
Joanne Fox.
Sandra Parcher.
Brianne Cruz Medina.
Jennifer Lauder.
Dustin Baker.
Chelsea Davis.
John Christensen.
Jamie Gage.
Carrie Watson.
Diane McCrae.
Christy Gallego.
Melody Holm.
Dina Mark.
Adam Hillard.
Rebecca Hensley.
Christina Bertolo.
Courtney Chandler.
Caroline Marceau.
Catherine House.
Elizabeth Brooks.
Jessica Robb.
Arden Sheppy.
Tammy Duncan.
Carrie Shoemake.
Jonas Hagos.
Caitlin Berry.
Catherine Horner.
Sarah Elsie.
Helen Lerman.
Jose Napoles.
Jesse Perez.
Will the candidates for the degrees Master of Engineering and Master of Science in the College of Engineering and Applied Science please come forward? Ramaswamy Dandapani, Dean of College of Engineering and Applied Science.
Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Engineering and Applied Science, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degrees Master of Engineering and Master of Science.
Dean Dandapani, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degrees Master of Engineering and Master of Science. Congratulations.
Anthony Ortiz.
Malad Hamida.
Susan Lovejoy.
Omar Alzaranhi.
Timothy Seifers.
Jabir Asiri.
Kevin Mukar.
Rifa Al-Khamis.
Ryan Freckleton.
Christopher Kabuzi.
Kolawolfi Adopo.
Jenny Lynn Ball.
This concludes the conferring of our graduate degrees. How about another round of applause for all of our master's degrees? At this time, I'd like to ask all undergraduates who have been nominated for honors distinctions to please rise and remain standing. These candidates will be presented by Provost Mary Cousins Reed.
This year, 312 students campus-wide received honors distinctions. These are the students whose academic achievements are truly outstanding, who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of academic excellence, and who have contributed immensely to the intellectual vitality of the campus. I'm proud to present these distinguished students who have been nominated to receive their degrees with one or more of the following designations: honors, special honors, distinction, high distinction, highest distinction, cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. It is my pleasure to bestow upon these distinguished students the honors designations for which they have worked so diligently and with such excellence. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, we now confer the undergraduate degrees. Will the candidates of the Bethel College of Nursing and Health Sciences please come forward? Associate Dean Timothy Behrens.
Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Bethel College of Nursing and Health Sciences, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science.
Associate Dean Behrens, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Bethel College of Nursing and Health Sciences, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degree Bachelor of Science. Congratulations.
Rebecca Benson.
Larissa Fleming.
Brittany Mowers.
Rebecca Burgoyne, magna cum laude.
Mary McGregor, cum laude.
Yuri Castello, outstanding undergraduate student.
Shannon Siver.
Sarah Tyrell, cum laude.
Valerie Osoka, cum laude.
Amy Anderson, outstanding undergraduate student, magna cum laude.
Maya Hero, cum laude.
Lauren Howlett.
Kim Jacobs, cum laude.
Jessica Alley, cum laude.
Daniel Allen.
Melissa Romero.
Patricia Frick.
Kelsey Best.
Christina Vercruzen.
Miju Lamaster.
Michelle Barish.
Alina Hartman, cum laude.
Melody Cousins.
Nathaniel Hasbrook, cum laude.
Natika Didrikson.
Alicia Yost.
Robert Didrikson, cum laude.
Kelsey McIntosh, magna cum laude.
Kaylee Babcock.
Emily Kitchen, summa cum laude.
Sarah John, magna cum laude.
Lauren Hall.
Pauline Camacho.
Michaela, right? Michaela Grave, cum laude.
Tessa Hund, cum laude.
Samira McMahon Domingo, magna cum laude.
Angela DeWispelair, cum laude.
Ellen Hodem, magna cum laude.
Sarah Christensen, cum laude.
Ashley Griffin, cum laude.
Andrea Payton, magna cum laude.
Julie Jenkins.
Allison Buck, cum laude.
Megan Bruck, outstanding academic undergraduate student, summa cum laude.
Rachel Bergstrom.
Courtney Moore.
Megan Mines.
Taryn Gomez.
Viet Hun, cum laude.
Nicholas Rumel.
Anthony Davis.
Teresa Littlefield, magna cum laude.
Lindsay Stitch.
Ashley Burns, cum laude.
Lori Schaefer, magna cum laude.
Denise Flores, cum laude.
Joanna Hicks.
Ashley Weaver.
Taya Smith.
Carissa Ferguson, cum laude.
Kayla Shane, cum laude.
Mackenzie Gleave.
Gabriella Windy, cum laude.
Andrea Ring, cum laude.
Michelle Lancaster.
Amanda Stanton.
Melissa Woody, cum laude.
Carolyn Lee, cum laude.
Kira Ames.
Jasmine Wells.
Shayna Sanderson.
Kirsten Matheson.
Karina Allen, cum laude.
Alicia Kazarian.
Anushka Ranaracha.
Carla Yarasti.
Kelsey Snyder, cum laude.
Natalie Vickery, cum laude.
Emily DeGraff, summa cum laude.
Valerie Walker, summa cum laude.
Taylor Neal, cum laude.
Amy Digan, cum laude.
Joseph Gargaro.
Alexis Lickver, magna cum laude.
Kristen Irby, cum laude.
Karen Hayter, cum laude.
Sonia Cook.
Lindsay Wielden.
Ellen Baldwin, cum laude.
Nicole Elaine James, summa cum laude and university honors.
Bethany Fraker, cum laude.
Skylar Neff.
Anna Parker, magna cum laude.
Brittany Noons.
Hannah Carter.
Jacob Sandifer.
Emily Ross.
Sarah Lawton, cum laude.
Cassandra Mazzacco.
Jennifer Allen, cum laude.
Sarah Branch Boyle, magna cum laude.
Sarah Kettlecamp.
Stephanie Jacob, magna cum laude. Melissa Yoder. Deborah Nielsen. Linda Breakhorn, cum laude.
Will the candidates of the College of Business and Administration please come forward? Dean Venkat Reddy.
Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Business and Administration, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Innovation and Bachelor of Science.
Dean Reddy, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Business and Administration, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degrees Bachelor of Innovation and Bachelor of Science. Congratulations.
Mercedes Allen, cum laude.
Max Flex, cum laude.
Milicia Fonseca.
Josh Groshin.
Haley Harrington.
Scott Spain.
Jason Coles.
Troy Hopkins, summa cum laude.
Abigail Smith, cum laude.
Benjamin Schaefer, magna cum laude.
Erica Marshall, cum laude.
Sarah Kapp, magna cum laude.
Brian Cumby.
Melissa Ives, magna cum laude.
Aaron Coffey.
Sharon Aarons, cum laude.
Ethan Pace.
Hardy Black, cum laude.
Tiffany Deo.
Cassidy Casper, summa cum laude.
Christopher Lambrecht.
Tyler Ann Owen.
Zach Whitechulis.
Courtney French, magna cum laude.
Josh Wilder.
Nicolette Schumacher.
Sam Harris, cum laude.
Shawnice Pollard.
Fletcher Malinkos.
Sean Robinson, cum laude.
Joe Damewood.
Catherine Phillips.
Alan Kraus, summa cum laude.
Tyler Bricking.
Jeremy Click, cum laude.
Brett Robinson, summa cum laude.
Nikki Trail.
Stuart Colson.
Natalia Christensen, cum laude.
Brooke Sherrill, magna cum laude.
Matthew Cucuck.
Nathaniel Harry.
Matthew Doyle.
David Tomlinson, cum laude.
Travis Grunenwald.
Rigoberto Milata.
Stephen Mauser, cum laude.
Reed Cowan.
Chad Hamilton, magna cum laude.
Andrea Vermeer.
Brandon Chegwin.
Brittany Crandall.
Abby Lewis.
Catherine Grant, cum laude.
Matthew Haas.
Madison Clark, cum laude.
Marcus Ornelas II.
Matthew DeYoung.
Jeffrey Johnson.
Hunter Morash, cum laude.
Jared Archuleta.
Jasmine Sandoval.
Emily Grants.
Amy Einsfar.
Wesson Osval McConan, awarded post.
Molly Crockett.
Scott Kapusiak.
Marguerite Lynn Lloyd.
Glenn Furton.
Kimberly Keel.
Matt Soul, cum laude.
Jennifer Smith.
James Ritchie.
Relax. Molly Gary, cum laude.
Christopher Mandeville.
Amber Sokola, summa cum laude.
Kyle Matthews, magna cum laude.
Samantha Heron.
Raymond Canales.
Megan Trujillo, cum laude.
Brian Forget, cum laude.
Julia Arcadia.
Caitlin Shireman, cum laude.
Karen Payton.
Amber Aragon, cum laude.
Wesley Walters.
Mary Barker, magna cum laude.
Lyle Rogers, summa cum laude.
Cecily Hotard.
Creston Keeney, outstanding undergraduate student, magna cum laude.
David Jorgens, cum laude.
Richard Miller, magna cum laude.
Natalie Duval Francis, cum laude.
Kristen Kirby.
Michael English, cum laude.
Eric Posh, magna cum laude.
Luke Dakin.
Sarah Wolford.
Anae Dillard.
Bethany Winslow, summa cum laude.
Shannon Douglas.
Christopher Smith.
Jessica Wilson, magna cum laude.
Brian Williams.
Tasha Lax, outstanding undergraduate student, magna cum laude.
Thomas Salomon.
Drew Johnson, cum laude.
Jaleesa Bell.
Brian Aki.
Lilia Lopez, magna cum laude.
Raina Wheeler.
David Wells.
Anthony Gama.
John Howell.
Jason Bierschbach, cum laude.
Danielle Gaffney, summa cum laude.
Stephanie Kubin, summa cum laude.
Natalie Ortiz, cum laude.
Peter Kornienko, cum laude.
Joshua Mills.
Mary Back, magna cum laude.
Seth Thompson.
Tasha Smith.
Joelle Crawford.
Nicholas Roseman, summa cum laude.
Jacob Darby.
Matthew Kenrick, cum laude.
Chris Harris.
Nia Nielsen, magna cum laude.
Spencer Rogerson.
Caroline Smith, cum laude.
Greg Payne. Kevin Johnson. Russell Einsfar. Lauren Lawrence. Christopher Kovac, magna cum laude. Hannah George. Shamiksha Pocarel. Yulia Walters, magna cum laude. Annie Kaiser, magna cum laude. Chris Preston, magna cum laude. Hassan Bagheria.
Will the candidates of the School of Public Affairs please come forward? Associate Dean Terry Schwartz.
Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Public Affairs, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts.
Associate Dean Schwartz, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Public Affairs and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degree Bachelor of Arts. Congratulations.
Justin Kern.
Leanne Kerner.
Clark Egan.
John Hong.
Daniel Kirschman.
Charles Miller, cum laude.
Jordan Oraqua.
Nicole Bray.
AJ Tao.
Joshua Moore.
Carlos Melendez, cum laude.
Carolina Ortega.
Max Watson, cum laude.
Kelsey Mahoney.
Eric Wagner.
Chelsea Ball.
Ryan Salick.
Autumn Harper.
Elizabeth Schwartz, cum laude.
Ashley Maui.
Thomas Pantoja, magna cum laude.
Philip Gurley.
Letha Kennedy.
Emily Green, cum laude.
Maribel Gaitan.
Victoria Barbosa, magna cum laude.
Paul Wimbish.
Mark Santon, cum laude.
Kyle Duff, University Honors.
Aaron Milburn, cum laude.
Jenna Gist.
Tyler Coates, cum laude.
Nick Tron.
Trevor Novak, cum laude.
Matthew Parker.
Devin Campbell, cum laude.
Kevin Sutherland.
Erica Martinez.
Sean Medina.
Heather Legit. Eugen Lee. Robin Briggs, cum laude.
Will the candidates of the College of Engineering and Applied Science please come forward? Dean Ramaswamy Dandapani.
Chancellor Shockley Zalabak, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Engineering and Applied Science, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Innovation and Bachelor of Science.
Dean Dandapani, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Engineering and Applied Science, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon these graduates the degrees Bachelor of Innovation and Bachelor of Science. Congratulations.
Kevin Waymeyer.
Paul Litch.
Greg Williams.
Nathan Dietz.
Gwen Butler.
Victoria Kirk.
Ansley Elwood.
Brent Williamson.
Joshua Cole.
Stephen Roderick.
Weston Zwiker.
Matthew Rockwell, outstanding undergraduate student.
Zachary Stotts.
Joseph Richhart.
Zachary Walker.
Matthew Dodds.
Benjamin Sly.
James Devlin.
Kevin Sutherland.
James O'Shea.
Joseph Burns.
Mitchell Holk.
Keith Pretty.
Marcus Eastman.
Ken Nguyen.
Thomas Mitchell with honors.
Olin Kazi.
Colin White. Douglas Broadhagen.
Joseph Lininger, outstanding undergraduate student with honors.
Talina Brown.
John Wolford.
Charles Jekyll with honors.
Joshua Engel.
Scott Seymour.
Jeffrey Gilliland.
Andrew Woods.
Laron Arpad.
Philip White.
Kenneth Curtis.
Kyle Shropshire.
Ariel Hacker.
Kevin Anderson.
Grace Riley with honors.
Micah Bracken.
Andrew Green.
Dale Shillington.
Raymond Dowdle.
Zachary Citrone.
Kenneth Hassey.
Michael Wilbur, outstanding undergraduate student with special honors.
Jason Morrissey.
Robert Chavez with special honors.
Abin Mukam.
Kelsey Thorson, outstanding undergraduate student with special honors.
Will Fangmeyer.
Michael DeGraff with honors.
Scott Russell with honors.
Timothy Pugh, Jr.
Daniel Rosado.
Jonathan Pugh. Jeffrey Rosalo with special honors. Alan Ford. Aaron Danielson, outstanding undergraduate student with special honors. Got it.
This concludes the conferring of undergraduate degrees. How about a round of applause? We welcome to the great extended family of the university with more than 34,000 alumni. Now up the Vice President of the Alumni and Friends Association, Stu Woods, who will make a few comments and initiate all of our graduates into the Alumni Association.
We are honored today to have with us alumni from previous graduating classes. Will all UCCS alumni in the audience please rise? I take great pleasure in recognizing all of these great alumni. Please be seated. Graduates, please rise. It is my pleasure to officially recognize you as new alumni of the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. As mentioned, you join the ranks of over 34,000 graduates who have earned a degree at this campus of the University of Colorado. As you have seen, many are with us today. Alumni continue to be an important link to our university. Many will remain here, providing a connection between the university and our community. Others will leave, but as graduates, you will all share one commonality: a lifelong bond with your alma mater. We will continue to keep you connected to the university in the years to come. In return, we seek your involvement and support, not only to keep your alma mater strong, but to make her stronger. The Alumni and Friends Association is proud to congratulate the class of 2013 on your great achievement, and we wish you success in the years to come.
Thank you. Please be seated. It is an honored tradition at the University of Colorado commencement exercises to read the charge to the graduates, given first by CU President George Norland to the class of 1935. Dr. Norland was a professor of Greek at CU from 1899 to 1942, a total of 43 years, and referred to by contemporaries as the kindly professor. For 23 of those years, he served as president of the university, and the library he helped plan in Boulder during that time now bears his name. He was also a very principled man, and his kindness was coupled with the courage to denounce racism in the days before it was fashionable to do so. In 1924, the governor of Colorado supposedly took daily orders from the Ku Klux Klan, which controlled the Colorado legislature at that time. One of those orders went to President Norland, who was told to rid the faculty of all the Catholics and Jews. Norland refused, and the university essentially received no state funds that year. CU barely survived. Later in the early 1930s, President Norland publicly denounced Hitler's Nazi regime in Germany. Throughout his long career, he remained devoted to two great causes: the life of the mind and the love of this university, feelings which are inscribed in this charge to the University of Colorado's graduates. Graduates, please stand and hear the words of the charge to the graduates as delivered by Regent Glenn Gallegos.
Good afternoon, graduates and University of Colorado, Colorado Springs class of 2013. You are now certified to the world at large as alumni of the university. She is your kindly mother, and you her cherished sons and daughters. This exercise denotes not your severance from her, but your union with her. Commencement does not mean, as many wrongly think, the breaking of ties and the beginning of a life apart. Rather, it marks your initiation in the fullest sense into the fellowship of the university, as bearers of her torch, as centers of her influence, and promoters of her spirit. The university is not the campus, not the buildings on the campus, nor the facilities, nor the students as any one time. Not one of these or all of them. The university consists of all who come into and go forth from her halls, who are touched by her influence and who carry on her spirit. Wherever you go, the university goes with you. Wherever you are at work, there is a university at work. What the university proposes to be, what it must always strive to be, is represented in its seal, which is stamped on your diplomas, a lamp in the hands of youth. If its light shines not in you and from you, how great is its darkness? But if it shines in you today and in the thousands before you, who can measure its power? With hope and faith, I welcome you into the fellowship. I bid you farewell only in the sense that I pray you may fare well. You go forth, but not from us. We remain, but not severed from you. God go with you and be with you and us. Congratulations.
Thank you, Regent Gallegos. Our sincere thanks to all who made this commencement a success. We especially appreciate the talented efforts of pianist Sarah McDaniel, the Visual and Performing Arts Music Program Chamber Ensemble under the direction of instructor Jane Rigler, and the Visual and Performing Arts Vocal Ensemble for providing the music today. Let's give them a round of applause. Graduates, at this time, those who have not already done so, switch your tassels from the right to the left side of your mortarboard. This signifies the completion of your studies. Audience, please join me one more time in a round of applause for all of our graduates. Now, please rise and join Visual and Performing Arts music instructor Gail Grace in singing the Alma Mater. The words are listed on page 13 of your program. This concludes our formal exercises. One more thing before we end. Graduates, we have a final assignment for each of you. We would like you to pull out your cell phone, take a picture of yourself, you know how to do this, and email it to alumni@uccs.edu. We're going to upload that to the UCCS Facebook page where you can tag yourself to share today's memories with your friends and family. Once the stage party exists, audience, feel free to come down to the arena floor and meet your graduates. Thank you for attending the commencement exercises. Congratulations, class of 2013.